Shout out to Neck Beezy. Shout out to Neck Beezy. Neck Beezy. Neck Beezy. Neck Beezy.
Official.StreetSmarks@gmail.com is how you want to contact us. Listen to us right here exclusively on YouTube, Street Smart Audio, or fuck with us. Official.StreetSmarks on SoundCloud and IG, Street Smart Fanpage on Facebook, Street_Smarks on Twitter, ECW Memories. This is the Extreme Retro Review for ECW, June 28th, 1994. H-Dub, what are your thoughts of this show?
This show seemed like it went by fast, even though the runtime was 44 minutes. That is because I was thoroughly enjoyed, and I felt like, that hopefully it's not spoiling too much, but Shane and Mr. Hughes did a great job of carrying the show, I will say, and I enjoyed it.
So we have a cold open replay of Hostile City Showdown, the finish between the Funks and the Public Enema. We show shots of not live video, but video of Terry Funk hog-tying Flyboy Rocco Rock and sending him over the Eagle's Nest upside down.
How was Funk not arrested for nearly killing a man, from dropping him on his head, tied to a freaking shoestring from the freaking Eagle's Nest? How was he not arrested for that?
It's ECW.
Yeah, and it's not for me. I don't know how I do this shit every week, because every week Terry Funk is there, and I done watched him commit more heinous crime after heinous crime, and each one gets progressively more heinous.
Holy fuck, Scoop is on play-by-play.
Oh, I thought you was going to say, holy fuck, fresh from the 1950s, here comes Dory and Terry Funk.
So we have a match. It's the Funk Brothers versus the Shah and the debuting Stevie Richards. Geek Ortiz botches the ring intro. Terry Funk corrects him. Ortiz says, wrestling for the first time in over a decade. And then Terry Funk corrects him. He says, yeah, we wrestled last night, Ortiz.
Oh, man. Well, it's not Ortiz's fault that he doesn't know that Terry Funk is wrestling somewhere in some town and shit, because who cares about a Terry Funk match? Not Ortiz, and definitely not me.
I said, Shah's outside. He's jaw-jacking to Hat Guy and the other ECW mutants. It's a complete squidash. I said there's a cute corner spot. I think it was an Irish whip into the corner. One of the Funk Brothers jumps onto the corner to block him from hitting the turnbuckle real hard. Shah and Stevie get some stuff in, but the Funks get all of their shit in this match. I said it's quite fucking boring.
All three moves.
There's a couple of spots. Dory's trying to do a butterfly suplex, but he's like hunching, trying to get him up. He's trying to get him up, and Scoop's over there. He's like, will the legend get him over? Ooh. He gets him over, and I'm like, and I said to myself, why are you putting over that you're old?
So that struggle butterfly suplex was right up there with Hogan slamming Andre. Epic.
I said it's quite fucking boring. There's no reason you waste Dory Funk Jr. on TV against two geeks.
Waste.
Geeks.
Waste. Geeks. The dude is 176 years old. You cannot waste the freaking mummy. You know, when Terry and Dory Funk hit the ring, the first thing that came to my mind was, this looks like the opening to the sequel, The Wrestler 2, Vern's Revenge. That's exactly what it looked like. Dory come out with his high school Letterman jacket, except there's no high school and there's no sport on it. It just says Dory Funk on the back.
That shit was Promised Land High.
You know what I'm saying? So I guess on the cross-dressing ranch and shit, that is fashionable attire or whatever. And then, you missed or no, rightfully so, you skipped over. And I'm sorry to the 110 subscribers that have to listen to this. But the finish was where they exchanged doing side headlocks
Forever.
With the quick tags, though. Like, their old asses was in and out, side headlock, tag. Side headlock, tag. Side headlock. And last time Funk comes in, then he put some extra sizzle on that motherfucker, some extra gaga, as Pat Patterson would say. And then I'm thinking he's about to punch Stevie Richards. No, side headlock. Before Dory comes in for that weak ass takedown into a pin and shit. In the second weakest finisher I've ever seen, right behind the spinning toe.
Dud. I said, Dory finishes with a judo throw. Scoop is awful. They show a replay. Negative infinity.
I mean, I don't want to dilute the negative infinity because should be the lowest of the lower with the rare double negative infinity. But yeah, no, this is double negative infinity. Double negative infinity.
So we have highlights of the Funks and the Public Enemy from Hostile City Showdown, their whole saga culminating. And we lead into a Public Enemy promo. Flyboy Rocco Rock starts all serious. I said, I'm going to ask you, Hot Stuff, what the fuck was Johnny Grunge looking at?
I was going to say the same thing, but before we get back to that, I almost forgot because I just saw my notes. I want to mention another example of how terrible a human being Terry Funk is and how terrible of a wrestler he is. He almost crippled poor Stevie Richards in what started off as a pile driver and turned into Scoop called it a tombstone, but he basically just dumped poor Stevie Richards right on his head, who he had given himself fully. Oh man, that sounds so gay. But like, he was a true professional in that moment. Like, he was like, all right, shoot, I'm doing my job, Terry Funk. Oh, you want to do this pile driver? Let's get it. And what this old piece of crap do? He drops this poor, helpless, because when you're wrestling, we all know it's a work. So in that position, he is genuinely helpless. And what does this individual do that goes by the name of Terry Funk? He just drops him on his head like the piece of shit that he is. I don't know how he continues to get booked and work matches after stunts like this time and time again, but it's a disgrace to the sport of professional wrestling, and it's a disgrace to the human race. Now back to Public Enemy and what Johnny Grunge was looking at. I have no freaking clue, but I was looking off to the side of my TV and shit like, where is he looking? I don't know.
So Rocco's all serious, right? He's sitting there and he's talking about how Funk hog-tied him and threw him over the Eagle's nest. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? It's just a match, Terry Funk. Okay?
Thank you, fool. It is.
And now it's turned personal because you tried to cripple the man.
Pretty much.
So Johnny takes the mic. And he's still looking off to the side, and he cuts a comically bad promo. He is obviously reading off cue cards.
Oh, man. And the question is why?
he cuts something wacky, and they end with cream. Cash rules everything around me. Dollar, dollar bill, y'all. Peace. We out of here. Oh, the other thing was, what added to the comedy, it was windy. So Johnny Grudge just waving his hair out of his face the entire time, trying to read this fucking bad promo. I don't give promos negative infinity, but if it was ever the case, negative infinity for the promo. Moving on.
Oh, shit.
So we cut to a Shane and Mr. Hughes promo, and they're behind a chain-linked fence. Shane cuts an awesome first half of this promo. Mm-hmm. He says he wants to give credit when credit is due. He went to the ECW board and he asked for this cage match, and he expounds on this, and he says that the Bruise Brothers are great at fighting outside the ring. Mm-hmm. And he's the best wrestler inside the ring. Mm-hmm. So he asked for the cage match, and that negates the Bruise Brothers' strength.
It's very smart.
So as he's talking about this cage match, you know what I'm saying, he says he equates himself to a general. Okay? And he says, as every general should have an offensive line.
That's right.
And then he cuts to his partner, Mr. Hughes. And Mr. Hughes finishes the promo.
So, basically, Mr. Hughes, in true MVP fashion, he puts over himself being from the hood. He puts up him and Shane are the world champion. You know what I'm saying? They're the champions together, but you know what I'm saying? I guess he called himself, but that's all good because he's Mr. Hughes. If he's with you and you with him and you got the gold, we got the gold. You know what I'm talking about? And then he finishes it off with the Bruise Brothers are going to go down with the sidewalk slam for the last time.
He said he's going to put a beating on you that your mama and your daddy can't get off. Shane just looks, doesn't cut another motherfucking word.
What can you say to follow that?
You could not follow that. The promo was so fucking awesome. It was amazing how Mr. Hughes cut this fucking promo. Shane looks, he goes, what else can I say?
You know what I'm saying?
Then it cuts to a Bruise Brothers promo. They're behind the chain link fence, and they continue the military allegory. They say Shane Douglas, or Lunkhead X, says, Shane Douglas, you call yourself a general. Well, we're a couple of buck privates. You know what I'm saying? And we want to get down in the trenches, and the cage is our trench. You know what I'm saying? And then it cuts over to Lunkhead X plus one, and he says, he talks about Mr. Hughes. He says, Mr. Hughes, you always consider yourself Shane Douglas's protection. Well, who's going to protect you, Mr. Hughes, when we put this whooping on you?
Mr. Hughes don't need protection, X plus one, motherfucker.
He needs none. Moving on.
Oh, by the way, before we move on, that motherfucking algebra equation you did for the Bruise Brothers right there, 6 stars on that, by the way.
6 stars. So we have a hostile city showdown bumper. Moving on. We have throughout the tape trader show, we had bumpers for July 16th, which is known as Heat Wave 1994. Oh. It's backed by Dirty Rotten Scoundrels by J. Rue the Damager and some other annoying Ozzy Osbourne song, and that segues into a vignette for Sabu. Sabu's over there doing his flips and dives, and he's breaking through tables and shit. And then it segues into a Chad Austin vignette. It's set to Three Little Pigs, the rock and roll version. Little pig, let me in. Not by the hair of my chinny chin chin.
Oh shit, thank God I didn't get that, but that doesn't sound half bad at the same time.
So we got Chad Austin. He's doing his terrible fucking moves. Like, in comparison to Sabu's triple jump moonsaults, air Sabu's. You know what I'm saying? He's flipping and flying all through the fucking crowd. And then you got Chad Austin. He does a shitty spin wheel kick. He does a terrible arm drag takedown. He does a shitty somersault plancha.
Hey, well, at least it's a somersault plancha.
And then he finishes up with a okay Alabama jam.
Hey, if it could have been side headlock. Shit.
So it's Chad versus Sabu next week. LOL.
Oh, I can't wait.
So we got the finish of Hack and Goof from Hostile City Showdown. Then we got a Hack and Woman 10-second promo.
Oh, man.
Something about it?
Oh, dang, is this the one? Oh, no, this ain't the one.
No, that's next week.
Yeah, it's next week. Okay, damn it.
So in the main event, we have Shane and the Ruffneck Mr. Hughes versus the Bruise Brothers in a cage.
In that little ass cage.
Scoop is awful. It starts tornado, and it settles into a tag match. I'm over it already. Then it goes into a commercial. I'm over it already. I said, it comes back, it's heat on a lunkhead. I said, have we not learned yet that the lunkheads cannot play babyface in peril?
Apparently not.
They're awful at this. I said, so the match is completely boring as fuck, right? So I'm just writing stream of consciousness. And I was sitting there and I'm thinking, they got the swastikas on their arms covered up now, right? I said, I wonder how many fucking swastikas they have on their chests and their bellies. You know what I'm saying? All I can think of is America History X. You know what I'm saying? And they got the motherfucking Aryan Brotherhood prison motherfuckers, and they're tattooed all over their bodies and shit. And I'm thinking that's how the lunkheads are. I cannot care about this match at any point. Paulie's on color. He kind of wakes me up, but nope. He highlights that July 16th is Shane and Sabu in the main event. I was wondering about that because Shane hasn't defended his belt since Funk's Revenge. Paul tells Scoop to shut the fuck up as Ruffneck chokes a lunkhead with some wrist tape.
Oh, yeah, he was killing Scoop on commentary.
Low blow comeback. Some goofy Hughes selling. After an 8-year match, a Bruise brother boots Shane Douglas out of the ring for the win.
Would that be considered a dusty finish?
Negative infinity.
It's perfect.
Because look, these motherfuckers, they were doing pinfalls and trying to escape the cage. What was the point of the match if you're doing pinfalls? The whole point is, okay, so the pinfall part is for the wrestler, and the escape the cage is for the Bruise Brothers? That makes them not the baby faces at that point.
Yeah, this is true. Yeah.
Like, what's the point? Okay, so Shane wants the cage match because the Bruise Brothers can only fight their best outside the ring.
Right.
So they're confined into the ring.
Right.
That says that the cage match should be pinfall only.
You would think.
So that would be advantage to the heel.
Mm-hmm.
But the Bruise Brothers are trying to escape the cage.
Mm-hmm.
They're the baby faces.
Uh-huh.
If they escape the cage, the match is over.
Right.
Negative infinity. So Shane is outside the cage. He fucking powders to the back. Mr. Hughes, his protection, tries to, you know, keep protecting fucking Shane. But the Bruise Brothers jump Hughes out the fucking ring and up the fucking aisle. There's a bumper for Heatwave 94. Moving on. We have a Shane and Putz vignette for next week. Moving on. And then you finish with the promos from Hostile City Showdown. Overall, it's a clip show. It's a skip show. But I was grossly entertained by this clip show, skip show.
As was I.
The main event was way too fucking long. Like, on the tape short of the show, it was 59 minutes and 44 seconds. And at the time that the cage match started, it was 31 minutes. Yeah. We go through 2 commercial breaks. And this motherfucker is selling the entire time. It was awful. Clip show, skip show. But, you know, if you like torture, watch it.
Must have been a budget cutting show. Like, oh, we'll just have Mr. Hughes, the Bruise Brothers, and Shane work all night and show clips the rest of the show. Save a few dollars for Heatwave.
Next week, July 5th, 1994. Cruising into Heatwave 1994. We out. Peace.
Peace.